Welcome back to Moose on the Loose, your source of uncorrupt media. My name's David. Today we got a video on the protests in France. Hopefully this video goes a little better than my last video where I had a migraine and I couldn't think or see straight, which led to a title looking like a 1-year-old wrote it. Anyways, what's going on? The German farmers started a protest where they brought their tractors out and started blocking highways, and then all these other countries have jumped in. You've got the Netherlands, you've got France, Denmark, UK I think is thinking about joining. There's a whole bunch. I think there's like 6 different countries now. And the reason for this, let's just break this down. Farmers are having to compete with produce, cheap produce that comes from outside of these countries in the EU, like Kenya, Chile, New Zealand, and Ukraine, where they don't have as nearly tight standards on the growing conditions. There's produce coming in where they're allowed to use banned chemicals and they're allowed to sell those cheaper than the French produce. In this case, most of the stuff we'll be showing here is from France. That's where a lot of this footage is coming from. The French don't like this. They don't like that they're just barely scraping by. They're not making very much money, and they're competing against produce that is using chemicals they're not allowed to use. So if you've been following this, they have come to an agreement here. We'll get to that. But basically what we've got here is, a bit of a cat and mouse game here with a police car trying to block a tractor. That's not a good idea. That's what's funny about these tractors is they can go anywhere and do anything. Next up, we got this beauty here. All these tractors all lit up. Before I get that copyright claimed, yeah, pretty amazing. And you can see here tractors on the streets. I've noticed multiple people mention this for Canada. Well, Canada did start it with the trucker rally. Truckers would have to be the ones to do this in Canada because we couldn't have tractors driving from Saskatchewan all the way to Parliament. It just it wouldn't be feasible. One of the things they are doing is dumping out all of stuff. You've got wine here, you've got produce. They're not allowing any of the foreign produce into the country.
Au rond-point de proximité du péage de Galargues, direction Nîmes.
That's a lot of wine. You got some guys pushing a barricade across, which is... That thing doesn't look very heavy. That's crazy. That's the thing, when you got a bunch of farmers with tractors, you can basically do anything. You can move anything, you can dig anything. Like, you can build your own roads. Like, it's kind of you have to negotiate with farmers. They create the food. Here you got a couple guys who's been taking down flags. This is a EU flag.
Voilà, c'est l'Europe qui gère là, avec les nouvelles PAC.
I don't speak French, so I can't translate any of that, but we'll just keep it going. There's a whole bunch of clips. It's sad to see all the produce going to waste, but I understand why they're protesting and doing it. You can see just a pile of apples and oranges down here. They really love burning their tires. So this looks like a government building here. Or is that the... Yeah, I think it's a government building. Yeah. Here's an entire line of tractors just sandwiched in there. Not getting through there, man. It does look like they leave an emergency lane. They didn't completely block it off. It's more of like the point of it. As you go through all these videos you hear like the cars honking at them, they're all in support of it. Burning a bunch of tires underneath this overpass.
Sinon on va monter plus haut, puis si on n'ira pas à Paris, ben on ira à Bruxelles. Ça c'est clair. Et puis on va voir. Donc là on va vous distribuer des croissants. Vous allez nous faire un petit passage. Et puis voilà. Là, vous rigolez comment vous faites...
On veut pas être comme les Américains. On les emmerde. Nous, on est Français et on restera.
So there's some music on there. We'll mute that. But basically one of the problems is the French farmers, they've been struggling for so long. They don't have any subsidies. They don't have any tax breaks. And they've been just right on the razor's edge of making money that a lot of farmers have taken their own existence. And for that reason, that's why they're all protesting and doing it in winter, right? That's when the farmers having their down season. That's the time to do it. You can see here, they're getting right into Paris. The goal here is they did block off all of the major highways, and they're blocked off all the produce and stuff getting to grocery stores. And basically, the police can't do anything. Those armored vehicles aren't doing anything unless they actually bring in tanks. You can't do anything against a bunch of tractors. This has got to be one of the best clips. Just bring a bunch of sheep, man. These get progressively more funny. Okay, this one's got copyright music, but tractor versus armored car, exactly what I was just saying. I don't, what are they spraying? Is that hay? I think it's hay or wood chips. Here they're like, they're dumping manure all over the road. So this is what the grocery stores look like now. There's nothing in them. Wow. Unreal. It goes to show their protest is working. So what you're seeing here is them spraying manure on one of the government buildings. That's so gross, man. Oh, the window's open. They keep cheering when he sprays it right into the crack there. There's not much you can do. These guys, they have fuel trucks and stuff too. Like they just fuel each other, and they keep. That's why they're able to move around so much. More flipping of some trucks here. More manure. This one's got copyright music, but you can see here, yeah, they're digging up the road. Look at that. Crazy. I mean, they're tractors. They can do anything they want. It's really causing quite the mess there. So I believe this stuff started happening after Emmanuel Macron wasn't really taking it serious. There's a good video here which shows that. This video here, someone did a comparison of exactly what was happening when Emmanuel Macron was having some fancy dinner, and this is what the farmers were doing. This is hilarious. That's, oh, it's gross. So much manure. That's wild. Look at these huge fires. Big tire fires. So this is Dutch farmers doing this one. So the Dutch are in on this too. This one's captioned less money for immigrants, more for farmers. So there's different reasons they're protesting here. Yeah, we're gonna have to mute that one as well, but you can see once again burning more stuff. It seems to be a staple in a lot of these videos, burning stuff. Some of the farmers brought in huge dump trucks full of stuff to burn. That's where a lot of this stuff is coming from. In this case, it's mostly pallets and wood, not so much tires. This year's got to be one of the best clips. It's, you can see here, French farmers sending crap onto a police station. This machine is just designed to launch this stuff. Look at that, man. Oh, that's gross. That's gonna be a mess to clean up. So they're spraying manure on this grocery store. That's what that is. Shoveling up more tires to burn. Look at that. Piling all these tires in front of that grocery store. This is, I've never seen anything like this. And there we go. The manure truck just soaking it down. Just nice and just glaze it. Completely glaze it. This next clip is apparently the farmers surrounding Macron's beach house. This is wild. Here we have another look in a French grocery store being almost empty.
Lidl il commence à tomber en rupture de stock. Plus de marchandises grâce à la grève. Continuez les gars comme ça, vous allez bientôt atteindre votre objectif.
Yeah, so we got some Euro techno music there. I gotta turn off, but yeah, you can see very few items. There's like what, one box there of cabbage, just what, some tomatoes. It's like slim pickings, slim pickings. Nothing on that. Hardly anything in the freezers. Yeah, those are all empty. You kind of have to make a deal when when there's a couple pieces of meat. Like, that's it. You see more empty freezers. Endless empty freezers. There's like 5 boxes in there. So here's another clip, has more copyrighted music. This one says, French farmers not stopping for anything. Paris rolling out armored vehicles. Brussels putting up barbed wire. You can't stop what's coming. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. So, for the most part, these have been pretty peaceful. They haven't flattened vehicles. I've seen, cops sharing cookies with protesters and the farmers and stuff. It's, there's one clip I saw, the farmers were helping tow a police car that was stuck out in a field. And finally, we've got a clip here of the farmers with a full-on Hershey squirts all over this government building. That's gross, man. Just manure on everything. Oh, it's nasty. Yeah, big tank full of crap. That's a lot of tires. Look at that. More and more countries are joining every day, and it seems like this is really working. It is working because the French have now come to a deal where they have agreed to a few things. They're going to give subsidies to the farmers, they're going to give them tax breaks, and they're going to ban produce from other countries that are using banned chemicals that they aren't allowed to use. So yeah, it's working. We'll see what happens with all the other countries, but so far France has cut a deal with the farmers. So what do you guys think about all of this? I think it's brilliant how they've used the manure and hay and the tires and all that stuff. For the most part, it's not been very destructive, aside from kind of like that one clip there ripping up the road. There's been some farmers arrested. It just kind of depends on the region. Different regions were getting a lot more farmers arrested than others. Overall, I mean, when you have all these tight green initiatives in one area, but then you're allowing other countries to abuse those laws and then but still sell the produce there, it makes sense. It makes sense why all the farmers would be mad. So really, can you blame them for wanting to protest? I say not. I think power to them. It should be a fair playing field, at least on some level, especially with an industry as farmers, where that's such an important part of society is, food. That's where I'm going to leave this episode and this story. As more things develop, I will make another video updating on everything else. So hope you guys stay warm, stay fat. I'll see you guys in the next one.